For the first current issue of water pollution that happened in Malaysia is Kim River toxic pollution. Through investigation, it was believed that the chemical waste were dumped from a lorry tanker into Kim River. Agency dispatched from the cleaning up operation of the polluted river collected 2.43 tons of chemical waste. The Johor Department of Environment have identified the illegally dumped chemical as marine oil that emitted flammable methane and benzene fumes. This has caused the people surrounding the river to feel sick until there are people who were admitted at the hospital into the emergency unit and ICU. Many schools near that river also were ordered to shut down. For the second current issue, it was serious water pollution in Penang. The sea of Teluk Bahang is said to be contaminated by heavy metal, while in Nibong Tepal, the water at the Sungai Tengah river mouth is black. Marine life, especially fish, were found dead by the thousand. This has given problems to the local, especially those working as fishermen, which mean they have to stop sending their fish supply to customers. The Center of Marine and Coastal Studies, CMAX, discovered the high level of nickel contamination in the seas of Teluk Bahang. CMAX has reported that the level of nickel was 1,038% more than it should be in the sea.
So, the next issue is bauxite disaster in Kuantan, which occurred around 2015 to 2016, where Pahang coastal area and the stream and the rivers turned into red caused by bauxite contamination. It was proven that Kuantan's treated water contained heavy metals and it was considered as worst case of bauxite contamination. The team of experts found traces of unusual level of aluminium in treated water supply in Felda Bukit Goh and Bukit Sagu, which exceeded the limits set by government in water treatment, and it's also considered as not safe to drink. And it's believed that it was caused by runoff water from heavy rains containing contaminants flew into treated water supply. According to Malaysian Fisheries Department, local fish around Pahang has been contaminated as a few samples were taken to do an analysis. So, we move to another issue, which is the pollution of Sungai Tebrau. This issue occurred in 2017 due to illegal rubbish dumping, which led to exposure of harm to the marine life. It was believed that river contaminated by factories and solid waste from residential and industrial areas located at upstream. According to Malaysian Nature Society, it turned the river into the low oxygen environment, and only a few species could live with it. Cockles and mussels can't live in this kind of situation. Otherwise, a species from non-Native American could live with it, especially AMIR and suckermouth catfish. And also, due to the pollution, population of fish and giant freshwater prawns were decreasing from 60% to 70%. So, the last issue is pollution of Sungai Selong. We know that it just happened a few months ago, and it was reported that 4 times in 2020 due to illegal dumping of chemical waste into sewerage system, and it was from a factory in Rawang, Selangor. 4 water treatment plants have been forced to stop operating after odor pollution was detected in raw water intake source. 1.2 million of users was affected, which this number came from people in Klang Valley, Putrajaya and Kuala Lumpur, which they are share the same water resources. Due to water pollution, there have been 10 unscheduled water supply cuts in 2020 alone, following by odor pollution.
Other than that, based on the current issues that have been stated before related to water pollution, there are few impacts from it to our society. Firstly, humans who ingest chemical toxins in their water can be at risk of cancer, hormone disruption, altered brain function, damage to immune and reproductive systems, cardiovascular and kidney problems. So these people will not able to do their daily life activity as a normal person anymore. Next, fishes' economies are affected because aquatic life is being harmed and killed by pesticide in contaminated water. So the pesticide in the polluted water will kill all deep aquatic life and affect the fishermen. Next, human activities at the lake, river and sea were affected since the water contains toxic contaminants from industrial, agricultural and domestic origin. And lastly, this can affect farmers' economy since the water contains toxic contaminants that are bad for plants, such as causing changes of pH value. As we know, for plants usually they need some soil that alkaline. So if the soil becomes acidic, it will affect the plants.
So, there are 4 mitigation strategies that our group suggests for reducing water pollution. Firstly, use less plastic. It is very difficult to break down plastics after it is produced. The more plastic we consume, it will end up in the world's water supply.
where it is even harder to fish out and safely throw away. Secondly, avoid pesticides. We need to avoid using herbicides and pesticides whenever we need to overhaul our garden or our places. These chemicals are very harmful to our environment. Next, we can use environmentally friendly detergents. If possible, get environmentally detergents, soaps, and dishwashing liquids. Sometimes these things will quite expensive for you, but they already reduce water pollution by using less harmful substances. Last but not least, do not throw away medicines in water. We should never throw away medicines in the water supply. Even if we do not need them, it is a bad idea for us to flush the drugs, pills or liquids in the toilet or crush them in the disposal sink.